That's right. I'm in the park today. What it do, family? Anybody in the building? Put on my hood, man. It's a little bit windy out here today. You heard? Peace and love, family. I got something for you. Wait up. Who coming to see who coming on my page on this Saturday to see the lecture? Who coming to see the lecture this Saturday? The Claud Greene Moors lecture, family. The Claud Greene Moors lecture. This Saturday, 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock on my Facebook page. I'm giving a free lecture. Being so grateful that those have supported the 18 missing years of Drew Ali. I'm giving a free lecture, family. I would ask that you donate so I can continue this on. If you don't, nevertheless, it's free, so it is what it is. But if you can, donate to the Cash App. Also, family, this one is going to be groundbreaking. Listen, I want people to know this, right? Stop acting like narrating what happened in history is beefing. See, there's going to come a day where we're going to have to get past that old concept that when I disagree with you, that I'm beefing. It's going to come a time that we're going to have to get past that concept that you saying that, oh, he's starting confusion because we are examining history. If one thing that we if one thing that we as Moorish Americans do study, that's history. History is a part of the fabric of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So it only makes sense that we will study history as it relates to our movement. So stop acting like there's a beef when one is uncovering what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America. Don't the world want to know what happened to this most influential movement in the 20s? Don't the world want to know why it has not been as influential since the time of the Prophet? Well, coming this Saturday, the lecture is going to really examine that. It's going to really examine that. And like I said, it's a shame that people try to persuade people not to learn what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America or the historical aspect of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And they start saying, oh, you beefing. Moors always beefing. Ain't nobody beefing. That'll be just like saying the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came to teach us our nationality and he beefing with those who labeled us black. There ain't nobody beefing. Stop keep saying that. See, y'all like to put out that low vibration energy. That's that magic that they try to do. You know what I mean? That's that magic. That's that Masonic magic trick where they keep on saying it's beefing, it's beefing, it's beefing, it's beefing. And because many of those that's saying that it's beefing, they know that they are in the crosshairs and on the wrong side of history. So they'll continue to say it's beefing. It's kind of like Umar Johnson when he keeps saying the same thing 5 times. You know what I mean? Hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. So psychologically, the brain and the soul is a receiver. And so even if you don't hit it then, eventually you may hit it because the brain is a receiver. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same thing as when one keep calling a dialogue beefing. You're beefing, you're beefing, you're beefing, you're beefing. They keep on saying that. And those who just want to learn say, man, I ain't really with the beef and stuff. I just want to learn. But they won't even take time to learn because now they've been hypnotized with the magic trick of somebody outside of themselves impregnating their mind that this is a beef. Family, I assure you that this is not a beef. This is a history lesson of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is the greatest story never told. The greatest story never told. And I mean, bar none. Listen, the story of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it has a love. It has dramatic love. It has deception. It has crime. It has triumph. It has every element of a novel, of like a fiction novel, you know, but it's a real story. And so, you know, most people, when we were coming up, right, and I have elders that was on my post recently, when we were coming up, people justified everything. They had no proof. They had no reason to justify. They just justified everything. What happened to the prophet movement? I would hear things. Well, when the lights went out, everybody just grabbed for everything. But that really didn't explain what happened to the prophet movement. You would hear things like, oh, they split into factions. There was the faction of Kirkman Bay. There was the faction of Emilio. There was a faction of the reincarnated. But under better research, under scrutiny, that is not what happened. The factions that split, the one split during the time of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That caused the other domino effect for other things to happen post-Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There was a split during the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and they tried to cover it up because when you examine the split during the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you will realize that they did not let up, and they continue not to let up. And now, you do have innocent people that are a part of this web that has been weaved back during that day. You have innocent people. You have innocent families. They don't know. They don't know. You have innocent people that have worked their way up the ranks. They don't know. I mean, many of them now they know. You know, you got grand governors, you got governors, and they know now. They've been watching Tahaka Bay. They know. But they have worked their way up the ranks. They have told their families that this is it. This is all. That this is the prophet movement. They refuse to face me with an educational, classy, I'm talking about classy, respectable dialogue. Respectable dialogue. I'm not talking about no beat down Negro, black, and colored dialogue. I'm talking about a dialogue where you bring your sources, I bring my sources, and we talk about what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America. We talk about, was there a split during the time of the prophet? Because we all been told that this happened after the prophet Noble Drew Ali. We all been told that Emilio was beefing with Kirkman Bay. We all been told that this happened after. I'm telling you that it didn't happen after. That after the prophet, it was carried on from the split that happened during the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, hold up. Why is that so important? The reason why it is important, because if we desire to put this divine movement on the ground, the first thing we have to examine, not the first thing, but in conjunction to putting it on the ground, we also have to look at the past so we can see what happened so we don't repeat it again. That's what we have to do. We have to examine the past so we don't repeat it again. Remember, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said all people suffer slavery by all people suffer slavery by not honoring the principles that laid down by their forefathers. If we don't honor our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we will continue being a perpetual type slavery in this day and time. Will slavery in this day and time look like slavery in 1860? No, but it will be principally the same type of slavery. In other words, you will go to the temple, you will read the Quran, you will go home, and you will do your business, and then you come back Sunday, and then you repeat the same cycle next week. Well, the Moorish Science Temple of America is not designed like that. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the temple is the nucleus. The temple is the landing pad. You understand? The temple is the landing place where our people who has been labeled Negro, black, and color, they land their plane. They land their plane from destruction, from hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harm. They land their plane at the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then they learn to understand who they are and who their forefathers were. And once they're empowered, they begin to build themselves, their family, and then begin to build a Moorish community. Because in our Quran, we have social duties. Our social duties is predicated on a Moorish society. It's not. Look, you was placed in the bands of society. Primarily, charity starts at home. And so these bands of society exist within the Moorish society and then extend outward. Most people read the Quran like it's all inclusive. It is once you deal with home first. And so that's what's been missing. What's been missing is that we haven't heard the plan, the divine plan of the ages that is wrapped around the idea that we are a nation, that we must build it, that we must govern ourselves, that we must not overthrow the laws of the said government, but respect the laws of your own, by you, for you, as you build. That's what's missing in the Moorish Science Temple of America in all of the factions. All of the factions, I bar none, all of the factions have yet to say, you know what? We are going to interface with the city. We're going to interface with the county. We're going to interface with the community. We're going to interface with those who wish, that think that conditions can be better. And we're going to build our own thing. We're going to build our own thing. Hi, puppy. We're going to build our own thing. You know what I'm saying? But not infringing on somebody else's. See, other than that, you're just going to show up Friday and you're going to talk about the Quran. You're going to go out and feed people sandwiches, and then you're going to post it on Facebook and post it on your social media, and you think you're doing good. And that is good. But after over 100 years, that's where we're at. We haven't built a community yet. We haven't built a farmland yet. We haven't planted that. Come on now. Come on now. What we doing? What is the divine plan of the ages? The lecture that's coming up in Detroit in April the 27th, I am going to, you follow what I'm saying? I'm going to break down the divine plan of the ages. And the divine plan of the ages is that we are in society, but not of society. You know how Jesus say in the world, but not of the world? That we are in society, but not of society. You understand what I'm saying? So we're here. We're here. Brother said we are a nation state. Candace said we are a nation state. Yet we haven't built that yet, Candace. We haven't built a nation state yet. We must build a nation state. If we don't build a nation state, we should, I think what Candace needs to be saying is we should be building a nation state. We haven't built a nation state. We haven't got the only thing we have that is consistent of a nation is a nationality. But how are we organized in comparison to the nations that surround us every day? How are we organized in comparison of the Chinese? How are we organized in comparison of the Pakistanians? How are we organized? You know what I'm saying? Until we get to that state where we're organized, our numbers, and those who agree that we should be organized politically, that we should be organized economically, educationally, and spiritually, we can't call ourselves a nation. We're just beggar people at this point, you know? But we're nation in theory, but not in practice. Because in practice, we come together and we build something. And I'm not saying we come together with Moors that think they know. I'm telling you that there is millions and millions of Moors out there that are called Negro, Black, and Colored. There's millions and millions of them that is tired of this situation, that believe in themselves and believe in the power of self to build something for self. So I'm not talking about those who classify themselves as Moors and Moorish Americans. Most of them have already proven what they're going to do. Most of them have proven that they're going to play dress up, that they're going to put on affairs, that they're going to put on a turban, and they're going to talk about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But when the talk is over, there is no building going on. They're going to keep on talking about it. And that's proven. They're going to go and they're going to do things that they can get a pat on the back, a pat on the head on social media, while we as a people, as a nation of people, Moorish Americans, continue to suffer. You know, these has become boy clubs. They become Masonic clubs. They have not become nations. These groups that calling themselves of Moorish Science Temple of Americas and governments and all that, they have become boy clubs, and they have become Masonic temples under the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because when you look closely, most people don't want to let go a lot of these American low vibration overtones. People love it. They love it. They love it. But they love to also call themselves Moorish American. They love it. You know, many people that call themselves Moorish Americans, They love to sound intelligent. They love to chop up lessons, sound super intelligent. But when it comes time to say, how many pallets of brick you going to buy so we can build an embassy where we can interface with other governments, where we can interface with local governments? How many bricks are you going to buy? How many bags of concrete are you willing to donate? How many, when you start talking like that, everything goes out the window. I don't like talking, babe. I remember when the time when I was talking about the Moorish village, and I was a part of the group called Ali's Men. And it was over 20 people in Ali's Men. And I started talking about the Moorish village, where the idea was we create this platform where, though not only us as Moorish Americans support, but people outside of us will come support. And because I'm facilitating it, it would be in Baltimore, right? But this model would grow everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? This model would grow everywhere. Do you know, out of everybody that's supposed to have been the bona fide scholars of Ali's Men, not one donated $1, not $1, not $1, not $1 from these bona fide Moors, not $1, not $1. Not one from Azim Hopkins Bey, not one from Sharif, not one from Tunica L, not one from McCoy Bay, not one from all of these scholars, from all of these people that people look up to at that time. They did not donate $1. So we can create an economic base for ourselves. In other words, the economic base would have been this. If we have an economic base here in Baltimore and you got goods and services, you ship your t-shirts, you ship your oils, you ship your hoodies, you ship your hats. And now we got a Moorish Mall here, and we duplicate it in Detroit. And then we duplicate it in California. And then we duplicate it in Chicago. And then we duplicate it in North Carolina. Then we duplicate, and we have a whole chain like 7-Eleven. But you know, no one donated $1. I took it upon myself. My mother, the few people that did donate, it wasn't enough to keep it going. My mother donated a couple $1,000s to purchase the first building. You know what? It was some Moors that didn't like it. They called the city and said, we got people living in the abandoned building. So when I'm telling you, family, you know, all of this playing dress up Moorish American, family, that stuff is out. That stuff is out. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, back to my first point, the reason why many people that call what I'm doing beefing, because they don't want you to look at the presentation. They don't want you to look at the presentation. They don't want you to look at that they have told you. They have told you that Prophet Noble Drew Ali died of tuberculosis. They don't want to exhume the body and check it out. And I'm saying metaphorically. They don't want to go back and see if it's right and exact. But now hold up. This is supposed to be your prophet. This is supposed to be your way of life. This is supposed to be your cause of existing once you have awakened. But they don't want to go back and see what happened to the Moorish Science Temple of America and why it's so lackluster before the public. And what I'm saying, we see the Hebrews out there. The Moors, many Moorish groups, they can't even stand on their own. They got to stand next to the Nation of Islam to get some sort of publicity. They got to stand, they got to go to Savior's Day in order to be recognized. Say, look, oh, they recognize the Moors. They be happy with a pat on the head. They got to go stand next to somebody who already did the work for themselves to be recognized by the public. Now, you tell me that ain't crazy. Like, they haven't created a platform for themselves that they can stand on, that not only Moors can respect, but the public at large can respect and have an interest in, and be able to even contribute some finances to even see some things. Case in point, I'm doing a lecture, right? And I do lectures for everybody. I don't just do lectures for Moors, because I'm speaking from a historical context where the American public may be even interested in the story of Prophet Noble Drew Ali from a historical context. But now, I can't give the American public that pseudo stuff people be talking, that old pseudo stuff. Oh, yeah, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he went to Mecca and they named him Sharif Abdul Ali. I can't give the public that super crazy stuff, because a person on a collegiate level, a professor on a collegiate level, go look that stuff up, and then we looking crazy and pseudo. So I give a lecture that is a bipartisan lecture that anybody can come and take a look at and respect. And guess what the Moors say? We don't support that. He disrespectful. Then I say, okay, step up and show me the disrespect. Oh, you doing it for YouTube. What? They come up with all of these excuses. But let me bear in mind this. All of those who's coming up with these excuses, not to engage and not to dialogue, to be for real, what I'm doing is not for you. It's not for you. Listen, the lecture that I'm doing this Saturday, the Claud Greene Moors lecture, it's not for you. It's not to ruffle your feathers. There is thousands, if not millions of people interested in the Moorish Science Temple of America and can't figure out what happened to such a great movement. And so for them, I will bring the research to show them. You don't have to watch it. I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers. I am trying to get to those that came in like I came in, but no one couldn't tell me anything. No one couldn't explain anything. Heck, when I came in the Moorish Science Temple of America, we didn't even know, and neither did the Grand Sheiks know who was those people on the back of our questionnaire. They didn't know who Meliel was. They didn't know who Small Bay was. They didn't know who Foreman Bay was. They did not know. The only person they knew on the back of our questionnaire was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and Allah is my witness. They did not know. Any sheik that you would ask back then, they did not know. Many people ask now, what was Small Bay position in the Moorish Science Temple of America? Somebody said, I got one question, because I kind of learned to hear you. Where I find a Moorish noble, non-dirty boy near Arizona. I will be in Arizona soon, brother. Hey, Armstrong Ali, I will be in Arizona soon. I'm trying to get booked at this bookstore. Message me. We're trying to build a temple in Arizona. We're trying to get a temple in Arizona. My brother Manning Bay is in Arizona. If you are qualified, come on, let's get it going. Where can you find a noble, non-dirty Moor near Arizona? You are it. Family, we have got to stop looking for non-dirty Moors, clean ourselves up, and we be the non-dirty Moor. We learn what we need to learn, and we put it on the ground so there won't be a person like you asking that same question. You are the one that you're looking for, brother. You are the one. You are him. But are you able to humble yourself? Are you able to chill and see the blueprint so we can benefit from the blueprint as given to us by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? And the only way, and then the way that you check me out, you look at the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and then you look at what I'm doing. Is Tahaka Bay playing games? Look at the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and you look at what I'm doing. Look at Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if you can't decipher what I'm doing because all of the hooping and hollering on the internet, message me. I give you my number. Message me. If you can't decipher through all the social media, message me, and then we can have a conversation. But you are the person that you're looking for, family. You're not going to find too many Moors that has been taught properly as it relates to the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You're just not going to find it. Some of your most respected elders do not know. They just don't know. Do you know what I mean? Do I know it all? No. But what I have studied, I know. I'm going to say it once again. Do I know it all? Absolutely not. But what I have studied, I know. And if what I think I know is not right and exact, I'm willing to adjust. Show me where I'm in error, and I'm willing to address. I'll give you an example. I did a lecture, 18 Mission Years of Drew Ali, and I put it on the post. My brother David Editonell, who's one of my elders, came on the post and talking about how they shut down Meliel, that he couldn't teach. And I said in the lecture, I had to tell him, I said, brother, the point that I'm making is that had no standing because the final ruling was the whole situation was dismissed without prejudice. You know what I mean? without prejudice. So that means that the case against Emilio was dismissed without prejudice. And so those who claim that Emilio didn't have this right, didn't have that right, it just doesn't even make sense because I have the whole case. But they will go on social media and say that. But say if I was wrong, say if I was wrong, I would just admit it. Okay, I'm wrong. You got it. But everybody who says that I'm wrong, don't no one step up. They be shadow boxing. They got me blocked and they talk to each other all day long. But none of them got the heart or the courage to stand before me and say, this is where you wrong, my brother. Let's get this fixed so we can move on. Let's get this fixed. Let's get this fixed. Kirkman Bey, and I'm a quote, let's get this fixed. Kirkman Bey was selected as the head of the Moorish Science Temple of America after the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And here's the evidence. You see what I'm saying? Only a coward would hide behind blocking somebody and make an argument. Only a coward. And I'm not saying anybody is a coward specifically, but I'm saying generally speaking, and generality of man is ignorant. So it's a kind of an ignorant statement, but I got to put it on the record. Only a coward would block someone and then make all of these arguments, but yet won't step up face to face and present your argument before the people in a respected, classy way. See, whenever it comes to a point where a Moorish American cannot show some class and some decorum to disagree and then put the evidence to the table, you are no longer Moorish American. A Moorish American nationality is the quality of character. So if you believe that you can disqualify that what I put to the table, then face me, disqualify me, embarrass me before the public so I can go away. But if you're not ready to do that, please just step aside, because this information is not for you. This is for people that just woke up last year. This is for people that woke up 3 years ago. This is for people that's going to wake up in the next minute and say, I want to be a Moorish American. But why is there so many groups? I want to be a Moorish American. I want to proclaim my nationality. But why is on the questionnaire, on the Divine Constitution and Bylaw, it says that the Grand Sheik and Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law, but there's a Grand Sheik and moderator. And how did it go from a Grand Sheik and moderator when at first it was a Supreme Grand Advisor and moderator? If people want to know that, they deserve an answer. They deserve an answer. If someone asks you, how did Kirkman Bey come into existence as a Supreme Grand Sheik and moderator when the lawgiver of the Moorish Science Temple of America is the Supreme Grand Sheik or the Grand Sheik and Chairman? They deserve an answer. They deserve an answer. You know what I mean? Brother Eric Thompson Bey, I apologize. Hold on. My brother just threw me under the bus. Eric Thompson Bey, I'm trying to be Moorish tough right now, and you talk about you go put your right hand on me and must go give me the hand press of unity. But please, let me get into my Tahaka Bay mode. I will put the right hand on you. He done went straight west side on me, man. Look, man, I'm from Naptown, man. I don't want no smoke, man. Come on, man, please. I don't want no smoke. But anyway, family, back to my point. I'm going to call you when I finish, brother. I was busy this morning. The whole point that I'm making is, do we really want the truth? Do we really want the truth? The truth's supposed to set us free. The reason why we haven't benefited from Moorish science is because we haven't been doing it right. We keep falling off the bike because we don't know the balance. We don't know the ledge. We haven't been doing it right. Do we want to do it right? Family, somebody talk to me. Do we want to do it right? The reason why we haven't elevated to respectability in society because we haven't done it right. My desire is to do it right. That's it. And looking at 2829 shows what went wrong. What would make someone create a Moorish Science Temple of America founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Create one right beside it. What insane man and insane people who call Prophet Noble Drew Ali a prophet, will ultimately create a Moorish Science Temple of America right alongside the founders' Moorish Science Temple of America. You ever notice that the prophet always keep on calling himself the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? The founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? It makes so much sense to me now why he kept saying the founder, because there also was a duplicate nation trying to develop in the image of the Moorish Science Temple of America, headed by Claud Greene. Headed by Claud Greene. There was a mirror. This is why he kept saying founder, the founder of the new Moorish Science Temple of America. He keeps saying this. And we're gonna look into that on Saturday. Some of the things that we didn't pay attention to. There's Moors on the high road, Moors on the low road. We didn't pay attention to. We thought that the prophet was just giving a sermon 100 years later that didn't pertain to a real specific situation. Cavi emptor. Cavi emptor. This stuff pertained to a real situation. He wasn't just saying that, figuratively speaking, that there's some Moors basking in the sun. He's talking about a specific situation. But we know it now. But why would people try to keep that from us? Because the same people that would try to keep that from us be the one that was living in that sin of trying to overthrow the prophet. And they continue to do it today. Do we want the truth or not? Do we want the truth or not? How can one be mad at me? Whether you are a member of the Resurrection, whether you are a member of the Inc., whether you are a member of any group, how can one be mad at me? Because my desire is to do it no different than Prophet Noble Drew Ali did it from his example. How can you mad at me? That I believe that the leader of the Moorish Science Temple of America should be and always will be Act One, the Grand Sheikh and the chairman. Nothing more, nothing less. How can you be mad at me? I believe that the Supreme Grand Council was not defunct. Why? How can you be mad at me? Because I want a Supreme Grand Council that helps govern the daily operations of the Moorish Science Temple of America. How can you be mad at me? How can you be mad at me? Because I don't want rules and regulations as created by Kirkman Bey, and I want that what the prophet gave us from the blueprint of Herod's revised statute. And how can you be mad at me? How can you be mad at me? I don't want that other stuff. That other stuff is not what the prophet demonstrated, and that shows me that that other stuff may not work. But what the prophet demonstrated, I know it's going to work because we got the example. Who can be mad at me? Because I don't want to be a part of your Moorish American government when you have yet to even qualify yourself by doing the first step. The prophet established 15 successful temples, chartered temples. And you haven't established one successful chartered temple and calling yourself a government. Why should I want to go to government stage if you haven't done the first stage? That doesn't even make sense to me. So we in the Moorish Science Temple of America, styled as the Noble Temples, we plan to take this step by step. Step by step. In other words, it didn't take a Supreme Grand Sheikh to build the momentum of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So you won't see me calling myself a Supreme Grand Sheikh until I do something supremely. Until I do something supremely. You ain't gonna see me calling myself that. No, until you see me do something supremely. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take a Supreme Grand Sheikh to do that. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali built this movement, put that movement on his back. He put Lomax Bey in position. He put Emil El position. He put Whitehead Bey in position. Whitehead L in position. He put all of these sheiks in position, and they built it. They built it without a Supreme Grand Council, without a Supreme Grand Sheikh. But once it was put together, he announced at the first annual convention, the Supreme Grand Sheikh, the Supreme Grand Council, the tax, and everything. So why can't we put this together like that, step by step? Huh? Because we too caught up in titles. We want titles. We want people to honor us for a title. Man, listen. Our people are transitioning daily. If you are half 100 plus, I know you seeing people go away from here fast. And you claim to be Moorish American. You don't want to see that our children have a community of its own. And those who are not in the Moorish community that are Moorish Americans, that they can escape for the weekend and come to a community that's refreshing. Come to a community that's healthy. Come to a community that promotes unity. I'm talking about our community, where you look out the door and you see your neighbor. I'm talking about our community, where we in the field grabbing up some turnips, where we grabbing up some beets, where we eating cherry tomatoes straight off the vine. I'm talking about our community. You don't want to see that in your lifetime? Where Moorish American children playing with Moorish American children? And then those outside of the Moorish American circle, other nationalities from the families of nations, come out and buy some produce, come out and support what we're doing so we can contribute to our nation building. You don't want to see that in your lifetime? You want to just sell incense? That's all you want to do? You want to sell incense? That's it? Huh? That's all you want to do? Well, that ain't what I want to do. That ain't what I want to do. That ain't what I want to do. I mean, I want to see us having a Chinatown before I'm gone. I want to see us having a Moorish village like a Chinatown. That's what I want to see. And I want to see Chinese people coming to buy our goods and services. I want to see Italians coming to buy our cuisine. I want to see Mexicans coming buying our cuisines just as much as you buy tacos, just as much as you buy spaghetti, just as much as you buy Chinese food. I want to see them coming to buy our cuisine. I mean, so in the post that I put up earlier, what's the plan? Ask your Grand Sheik, what's the plan? Ask your Supreme Leader, what's the plan? I just told you, I just gave you a glimpse of the plan that I'm looking to work. What's the plan? Go to the temple on Friday. You ain't pay your dues. You ain't pay your dues. Why you ain't attend your meetings? Because ain't nothing going on. Well, here in the Moorish Science Temple of America, styled as the Noble Temple, we got things going on, and now we need muscle. Now we need intelligence. Now we need brilliance to take it to the next level. And if you are interested in the Moorish Science Temple of America and you and the work that comes with it, join us. Join us. I'm saying it for the first time. Join us. Because we are trying to exact the power of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We are trying to exact the power of Prophet Noble Drew Ali for our cause as Moorish America. I'm in Los Angeles, where there's a part of the city for every nationality, but our true nationality. That's what I'm saying. So listen, in building something, it's going to take patience. In building something, it's going to take patience. So I've been at this for 5 years, right? And the staying power of Moorish Americans is tough. Moorish Americans, Moorish Americans, in the sense of me being a leader, I've discovered this. Many Moorish Americans is waiting for marching orders. And then when they get the marching orders, the Supreme Grand Council is Masons and a part of a sellout. All Marcus Bay. What are your thoughts? I say see me live and debate me on that. I say see me live and debate me on that. Don't ask Marcus Bay. Ask me, Glendon Bay. See me live. See me live. You want to see me live? Let me see. Let me see if I can bring you in. Let me see if I can bring you in. See if I can bring you in. Let's see what you're talking about. Let's see if you know what you... And see, that's the difference between me and everybody else. Let's see if you know what you're talking about. Let's see if you know what you're talking about. He says, Glendon Page Bay says the Supreme Council is a Masonic and part of the sellout. Let's see if you know what you're talking about. If you don't add, I'm going to just delete your comment. Come on. Is he coming? Let's see if you know what you're talking about. I mean, who told you that? Break it down for me. Is he going to come in? What are he doing? What are he doing? He at work. That's the excuse? Come on. Come on, where you at? Is he coming in? No, it's not a part of no Masonic sellout. Do you understand what the Supreme Grand Council is? I'm letting you in, brother. Come and talk to me. I ain't go